Cool. Let me just quickly say hello to the people on YouTube Live. Hello, people on YouTube Live. I hope you're going well. I hope you're preparing properly for your IELTS, so you pass it the first time around. You never have to do it again. Maybe you learn something while you prepare. That would also be fun. All right. Enough preamble and waffling from me. Hello, everyone. My name's Jay. I'm one of the expert IELTS teachers here at E2 Language. And in this live class, we're going to look at IELTS Writing Task 2. We're going to look at the opinion essay. So as we've discussed, there are 5 types of IELTS essays you may see on test day, such as problem solution, double question, discuss both views, etc. We're looking at this one here called opinion. It comes in multiple forms or styles. For example, you might just get the prompt that says, what is your opinion? You may get a prompt that says, what are the positive and negative aspects related to X, whatever X is? Do you think X is a positive or negative development? Do you think X is beneficial or not? The other type of IELTS opinion question is the one that asks you, to what extent do you agree or disagree? We did that last week. If you haven't seen that one, you have to click up there, I think, and watch it up there, okay? But stick around. Let's look at the essay structure for the opinion essay in IELTS. This is what we're going to learn in this lesson. It looks confronting, it looks intimidating, it looks kind of terrifying, but let me step you through it. It's pretty straightforward. Once you've written this once, you'll just know how to do it, right? One of the things with the IELTS that I find is it's a very complicated test. And it's very intimidating and it's very confusing. But once you have understood the question types for reading, for example, or understood the listening types for the question types for listening, once you've written an essay for each of the different possible IELTS prompts, once you've described the graphs, once you've done it basically and done good preparation, you'll start to think, oh, I understand this test now. Once you've understood the test, then it becomes a test of your English. If you haven't understood the test, you're going in on test day and you're testing 2 things. One, your ability to just understand what's in front of you. And secondly, your English skills. So you want to eliminate that first one so you know exactly what to do so you can focus in on writing a beautiful essay, for example. Hope that made sense. Cool. So I'm going to step you through this sentence by sentence tonight. This is what my essay looked like after I wrote it, okay? Let me give you some important tips before we begin, and these are genuinely important. These are directly related to the scoring. If you miss these, then you're going to be in trouble. First of all, word count. You need to write more than 250 words. 23% of candidates lose marks because they don't write 250 words or more. In other words, they write below the word count, they lose an entire band score or maybe even more. So what's the secret to this? Well, the secret is to extend your sentences. And I'm going to show you why that's an important tip as well. But in your introduction, don't write 40, write 50 words. Paragraphs, don't write 70, write 80. Conclusion, don't write 40, write 50, then you'll get above 250, okay? It's about extending your sentences. My essay here is 310 words. Mind you, I typed it. The other important tip is this. You need to write complex sentences. You need to show off not just how accurately you can use grammar, but what range of grammar you can use, all the different types of sentences that you can write. Let me give you this little piece of advice. I found out this the other day from an IELTS examiner. If you wrote a perfectly grammatical essay, like nothing wrong with it, it's like 100% perfect, right? But you just wrote simple and compound sentences. Guess what band score you would get out of 9 for grammar? You would get a 4. That's the maximum you can get if you write simple sentences or compound sentences. You need to include in your essay a range of complex sentences and a variety of different verb types, etc. These words in front of you are some of the words that can help you to write complex sentences. For example, if we look at the word although, you know, you want to write a sentence that's that says, although blah, 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 comma, blah, blah, blah. That's a complex sentence. Or you want to include, where is it? Which, blah, 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 comma, which, blah, 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 right? You want to include complex sentences. The last important tip, especially in these opinion-based essays, is that you need to take a strong position and argue it completely, okay? You don't want to have mixed messages in your essay. Pick a side, stick to it. Or what I'm going to show you in mine is I picked a side and stuck to it, but then I also showed the other side, but I made sure that this side of the argument was much stronger than the other side of the argument, okay? Let's begin, because what I need you to do is write. Now, two things. One, I want you to get out a notepad and a pencil, because on test day, you use a pen and a pencil and a piece of paper. And it's very different to typing. It's a very different skill, not just physically, but also mentally, because you have to think of the sentence before you write it, because you can't take the cursor back and add anything, right? Secondly, the question prompt we're going to look at tonight was taken from the real IELTS held last week, which is good. However, it's an extremely boring question prompt. I'm sorry, but it's a good one to practice with. So let's do it. Let's analyze that question prompt. Okay, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to read what's in front of you. Imagine it's test day. All right, let me just read this. It says, well, again, if you know the rules of the test, you don't need to worry about any of this stuff, because you know you've got 40 minutes and you know that you need to write at least 250 words, and you know the structure for the essay, that you need to include examples and experiences. Right, let's read this, because this is what's important. This is what you need to think about. Some people believe that governments must apply high taxes to provide good public services for everyone. Give your opinion. Okay. Let's think about this for a minute. So, taxes. Ugh, how boring. Anyway, maybe you're an accountant. Maybe you love this. I'm not sure. But the controversial statement here is that governments must apply high taxes so that we can look after public services. What are public services? Schools, hospitals, roads, transport, parks, stuff like this, right? That's what the taxes pay for. Now, the controversy here is that the statement says that some people believe that, well, let's read it again. Some people believe that governments must apply high taxes to provide good public services. What's your opinion? Do you agree completely? Do you disagree and think that governments should reduce the taxes to create good public services? Or do you have a sort of nuanced opinion where you agree that there should be high taxes, but maybe there's something else? This is a complex one. Let's plan. I want you to spend a minute planning your essay. In fact, I'll give you a minute. So I just need you to come up with 2 reasons why high taxes are good. It's probably going to be easier to argue for high taxes. Okay, so I would stick with the good, that high taxes are good. You need to come up with 1 reason why, and you need to come up with another reason why, because these will become your paragraphs. What are your 2 reasons? You have 30 seconds. I would not start writing until I have got my 2 reasons and they're very clear, okay? You should definitely not start writing and think, okay, what am I going to write about? I'm already writing. What am I going to write about? Oh, I've already written the paragraph. What's it about? Uh-oh, what's it about? That's problematic. You come up with your clear reason. Let's say, let me give you an example. let's say I'm going to argue that, yes, I agree. Governments should apply high taxes. Whether I agree or not is beside the point. Let's just agree for argument's sake. Yes, high taxes are good, okay, to create good public services. So I'm going to go with good. Reason one is good, let's say good, good education, okay, schools. Okay, money can be poured into schools and that will increase people's education, decrease unemployment, whatever. That's another one. Well, I might say that high taxes will decrease unemployment, or let's say help the unemployed. So they're my two reasons. Now I'm going to turn both of these into paragraphs. Help the unemployed through taxation, okay? I've got my two reasons. This will become paragraph 1. This will become paragraph 2. Now I'm going to stick to it. So I hope you have your two reasons. Let's write the introduction. Let me take you through mine first. So our introduction is going to have 3 sentences. I'm going to write a general statement about tax. Then in sentence 2, I'm going to rewrite the question prompt in my own words. Sentence 3, I'm going to write, this essay will discuss why I agree or disagree that high taxes are good. Okay, so general statement. Tax rates have been an ongoing debate for centuries. Okay, that's all. Just a general statement about tax, very broad, but I'm locating the topic. I'm contextualizing the topic. Now I'm going to rewrite the question prompt. While some people, especially those on the left of politics, believe that high tax rates should be instantiated, others, especially those on the right side of politics, believe that high tax rates do not benefit society in as much as we tend to think. Okay, so I've just rewritten the question prompt in my own words. Slightly differently, but I'm on topic. Now I'm going to go to sentence 3. This essay will discuss why I agree, disagree. This essay will argue, you can change the verb, will argue that the higher the tax rates in society, the better the public services tend to be, although there is a limit to how much you can tax someone. Now, what I've done here is clever. First of all, I've told the reader what I'm going to tell them. I've stuck to the topic, but I've also done this. This essay will argue that 1, this will become my paragraph 1, the higher the tax rates in society, the better the public services tend to be, although, paragraph 2, there is a limit to how much you can tax someone. So I've actually included what I'm going to write about because I thought of it beforehand. I've included that in my thesis statement. Right, write your killer introduction. You have 3 minutes, go. Okay. It's only 3 minutes. In the real exam, you can spend longer than that. I should just say this question prompt is difficult. You should just choose the simplest opinion you have. Like, you just, yeah, make it easy on yourself. One of the things that I have trouble with is I try to become too philosophical and I try and write these like, I don't know, crazy essays. Just keep it simple, stick to the prompt, follow the structure. All right, let's just have a quick look at the chat. I just want to read the opening sentence here. Tax is an ongoing process which helps, which helps government to run. Fine. That's a brief general overview statement about what tax does. Taxes are one of the most controversial topics which different government sides discuss about. Okay, yep, good. Could be phrased more accurately, but yes. Taxes are necessary devils. Okay, not academic language. You could say taxes are a necessary evil. Well, that would be too strong. Anyway, I get what you're saying there. Tax is the primary source of government to serve its people. Okay, taxes are the primary source of revenue for governments to serve their people, something like that. Okay, good, nice. Good. You've written an introduction. Now let's write a paragraph, okay? Remember, you have your 2 reasons or your 2 ideas. Let me talk you through mine. The structure of this paragraph is going to have, well, it can have 4 sentences or 6 sentences. You might write 2 sentences for the reason and 2 on evidence. It's up to you. Okay, but you just want to make sure you write about 70 words at least. Opening sentence. Public services such as roads, transport, education, and health systems rely on taxation. Reason. The more tax that people pay, the more that these types of services improve. Evidence. In countries with high taxation rates, such as Singapore and Australia, the infrastructure is solid and maintained at a high level, whereas in countries with low taxation, it is quite the opposite. Good. Closing. What's my position? Overall, there is a strong correlation between those countries with high taxation and the quality of their public services. Fine. That's my paragraph. I'm going to give you less than 10 minutes, about 7 or 8 minutes to write your paragraph. Right. How's it looking? I'm just having a look on YouTube Live. Seeing some paragraphs come through. Let me just have a look in the Zoom chat. All right, good. I hope your paragraphs are just about one idea, right? One idea. And they're elaborated on, extrapolated upon. That's what you need to do. All right, cool. Guys, before we move on to look at paragraph 2, if you're struggling with your IELTS, which a lot of people do and are and have been, check out this website, e2language.com. We've just redeveloped our IELTS course. It's all online. It's 100% online, so you can access it from anywhere from your laptop. It's got overview lessons, methods lessons, heaps of practice material, mock tests for reading and listening. We do lots of practice for writing, sample letters, sample graph descriptions. We went through every academic writing task 1 that's basically possible. Wrote samples, give you the opportunity to practice. You can submit your writing through the system. Our teachers will give you feedback on it, send it back to you. You can take one-on-one tutorials on writing or speaking or reading. And you can also join the live classes, which happen every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So there's lots and lots to do at e2language.com, and it will definitely help you to boost your IELTS score, okay? Let's write paragraph 2. Okay, let me take you through mine. So my opening sentence. There is a limit, however, to how much the government should tax individuals and companies. What's my reason? Well, high-earning people should be taxed more because they are earning more than their counterparts. They should still be incentivized to continue to climb the economic hierarchy. What's your evidence? Well, if a person is taxed too much, for example, he or she can lose the motivation to continue to work. So what's your closing position here? Well, in short, if the tax rates are too high, it may have negative consequences for the society or on the society. Okay, so that's my paragraph 2. That was my second idea, clearly elucidated. I'm going to give you another 7 or 8 minutes to write your paragraph 2. Just want to check in and see how you're going. What you have probably found is that this second paragraph is extremely difficult to write. If you did not come up with your clear idea before you started writing, okay? Because this question prompt needs you to have two distinct, separate, clear ideas to write about. If you write about the same thing in paragraph 1 and the same thing in paragraph 2, but just in different words, you're going to lose out for task achievement, which is one of the criteria that the examiners look for. This is a tough question prompt. All right. Whoops. Anyway, I didn't mean to do that. Just let me check how you're going. All right, fine. We might actually move on to the conclusion anyway. You can always come back and finish off that paragraph if you need to. So let's write the conclusion. So our conclusion is going to have two sentences. Sentence 1 will say, this essay discussed reason 1 and reason 2. In my opinion, I agree or disagree. Mine says this essay argued that high tax rates set by governments no doubt lead to better services for their citizens, but high tax rates are risky because high earning individuals might not subject themselves to such losses. They were my two reasons, my two paragraphs summarized in that sentence. In my opinion, governments need to find the right amount of tax to apply to different individuals so that it is fair to all and also leads to improved public services. You're going to have just 2 minutes to write your fabulous conclusion. All right, how did you go? Okay. Okay, let me just having a look on YouTube live here. Okay. Yep, not bad. Bit of feedback might be good. Bit of feedback from a teacher might be good. Cool, that's it. Well done. You've just written an essay, by the way. And as I said, once you do this once you go through and you actually just write out that introduction, you get the idea that you start broad, you rewrite the question prompt, this essay will. Then you write your 4-part paragraph, your opening, your support with your reasons, evidence, closing. You do that twice for your paragraphs. Then you write your conclusion. This essay discussed the idea in paragraph 1, the idea in paragraph 2, in my conclusion, X. Boom. Your essay is done. You just need to practice it. So many people don't prepare for the IELTS. And then they think, oh, I only got 6 on writing and I just spent $300 on that test. I'm going to take it again in 2 weeks' time. And then they don't prepare again. And the same thing happens. And then they don't prepare. Just a cycle. At some point, you have to stop and say, all right, I better learn how to do this properly. Anyway, Don't want to get too cranky. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, you should subscribe to our E2 language channel. Click that subscribe button just below you there. Let's go through a high score checklist. I want to show you what you need to do in order to get a high score, because the examiners look at your writing for particular things, right? So let's go through it. This is what an examiner thinks about. Okay, did you answer the question? If you wrote off topic, your score will go down. If you wrote on topic about exactly what the question prompt asked, your score will go up. Did you answer all parts of the question? Well, this was about high taxes. That's one part. To improve public services, that was another part. If you did that, your score will go up. Did you take a position throughout? Well, if you did, your score will go up. You need to be very clear in what your position is. Did you support your ideas with reasons and evidence as per the paragraphs? Well, if you did, your score will go up. Did you organize your essay using the E2 language structure? Do the ideas in your paragraphs flow from one to the next? And also, did you use linking words like however, therefore, as a result, nevertheless, appropriately? Not too many, enough, and well. Vocabulary. Let's think about vocabulary. Did you use a wide range of words related to taxation and government and spending and whatnot? If you did, your score will go up. Did you use words precisely? In other words, you're not just using words because they look good, but you're using words because they sound good. In terms of their meaning, they are precise and accurate. Not just fancy, they need to be precise. Did you use some natural sounding phrases? Did you use, okay, this is important, grammar. Did you use a wide range of sentence types? Some simple, some compound, some complex, some compound complex. Your scores will go up. If you just wrote in simple sentences, the maximum score you can get for grammar is 4 out of 9, okay? Even if it's perfect. You need to think about range, writing a wide variety. Did you mix simple and complex sentences? Your score will go up. Is your grammar accurate? It needs to be accurate. Importantly, did you write more than 250 words? This is an important checklist. You might want to take a photo of that on your phone. Let's recap. So the essay structure we looked at had an introduction, a paragraph 1, a paragraph 2, and a conclusion. The intro had 3 sentences. The paragraphs had, well, between 1 and 6 sentences. Actually, it should be a 6, not a 5. And the conclusion had 2 sentences. If you need help, go to E2 Language, sign up for free, and join the live classes so you can come and hang out with all of these cool people. I'm exhausted after that. Holy moly. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Please put your questions into the chat. How many people have we got in here? 80 in Zoom and 109 on YouTube. That's 190 people. That's pretty awesome. Any questions? Put them into the chat. Still waiting for questions. I must have taught it perfectly. No questions. All right, that's a good thing. Jay, I have a question about task 1 and task 2, but mostly about task 2. Is it possible to use a colon and list something, for example, in the introduction, in 3 different countries? No. Don't use full colons. Just, there's a really technical way to use a full colon. That's the dot, dot. And there's also a very technical way to use the semicolon, dot, and the apostrophe. Don't use them unless you're 100% sure you know that they're accurate, okay? Just stick with usual punctuation, commas, full stops, capital letters, okay? Cure, how do we lose some marks if we mention 2 ideas in the one paragraph? Not necessarily. There is a way to write, there are 2 types of paragraphs that you can write. There's the single idea paragraph, like what we looked at today. And then there's the double idea paragraph. Now, some of the IELTS questions, for example, ask you to discuss the advantages and disadvantages. So your paragraph will have 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages, right? But if it's just what is your opinion, you just need a single idea, a single idea. So watch the other YouTube videos. Sign up to E2 Language. We talk about that. In fact, I think you are a paid member, Kyo. Fahim, in the general and academic writing task two the same? Sorry, is the general and academic writing task two the same? The answer is yes. Basically the same. Same, different question, different, yes, it's the same. It'll be slightly easier for general, that's all. But all the structures still apply. It's the same structures. Jay, can we write the essay in capital letters? Yes, you can if you want. What are the differences between simple, compound, and complex sentences? You ready for a grammar lesson? All right, let me just find a little, let me do this. Let me just give you a quick little grammar lesson on what a simple, compound, and complex sentence is, or are rather. Okay, let's just do a simple sentence. Okay, so this is simple. Simple sentence. Simple sentence. The dog ate the cat. Cool. We've got one subject, we've got a verb, we've got an object. Okay, dog ate the cat. Cool. Let's do a compound sentence. This means basically you just join the two sentences together. So the dog ate the cat and the cat, whatever, was delicious. Okay, you can see you've basically got two sentences here, and you'll have a subject, and you'll have a verb, and you'll have an object here. That's a compound sentence. Now, a complex sentence is when you have a sentence part. So you have, okay, so you have the dog ate the cat. So you can have a simple sentence, ate the cat. Okay, but then you'll put a comma. There's different ways to write them, but this is one example, which was gross. Okay, this is called a complex sentence because if you got rid of this part here, it just has which was gross. This is called a subordinate clause. This has a full subject, verb, object, right? The dog ate the cat, but this just has a sort of verb and an object. This is a complex sentence. Another way to write them, another type, is to use one of those connecting words like although, let's just say, although the dog ate the cat, the cat survived. Something like that. Although the dog ate the cat survived. So you can have two-part sentences. So you need to be writing these complex sentences like that to boost your score. And not just one, like 5 of them or 6 or as many as you possibly can. You really need to show off the range of grammar you have. If you can write in conditional sentences like, I can't even think of them. I can't think, sorry, I just went blank. Anyway, let me go back to my questions. Fahim, can I use the advantages and disadvantages? If I get the opinion essay, can I talk about advantages and disadvantages? No. If you get the advantages, disadvantages essay, you should talk about the advantages and disadvantages. If you get the opinion essay, you should not be talking about advantages and disadvantages. If you do, the examiner knows that you've just memorized a previous one. So try and answer the question prompt. That's all you need to do. Answer the question prompt. Okay? Sarita, please send your message to help.e2language.com. You must be writing to the wrong email address. help.e2language.com. help.e2language.com. Okay, send your message through there. How if I'm not sure about the position I would like to choose, but I still have the reasons of pros and cons? Will that still count as a bad mark here? Okay. Yes, you need to choose a side. You have to choose a side. You can't say, okay, if it says, what's your opinion? And you say, no, not necessarily true. You can do an even debate. You can say, my opinion is that high tax rates result in good public services. However, they negatively impact business and industry. That's still a strong position. That's fine, actually. Yeah, so you can fully agree, you can fully disagree, or you can be half-half, but just make your opinion clear throughout, okay? It's really important to make your position or your opinion clear. Yeah. Yes, you can agree. Yeah, I've just answered that one. What if I used all of my ideas in paragraph 1? Yeah, well, that's why before you start writing, you need to come up with your 2 ideas and write them down on the question booklet. Basically, my paragraph 1 will be about this. My paragraph 2 will be about this. Just 2 ideas. That's all you need. Then you start writing because you know where you're going, right? When are we writing the advantages and disadvantages essay here? I did it 2 weeks ago. You can see it up on YouTube somewhere there. How do you develop your ideas? Well, this should just come in life by just thinking about stuff, but also practice these exams. YouTube Live, let me answer some questions here. What's the hardest question type? I think they're all pretty challenging, to be honest. I think they're all challenging. I think you ought to practice all 7 question types. All on E2 language. Sir, the way you teach is very good. Thank you very much. How many marks will I lose if I write less than 250 words? Here's the answer to that one. Write more than 250 words. I wrote my IELTS. In speaking, I could not understand a question from the interviewer. So if in speaking, if you don't understand a question, you can just say, excuse me, can you rephrase that? And they will tell it to you again in a different way. So that's fine. But yes, you should make sure you understand the questions. Jay, is there any way I can improve my writing because I'm not really good at it? I'm a silver paid student. Mary, there's the 300 plus grammar lessons. There's the vocabulary lists. You really ought to practice. You'll get feedback from the teacher. And you've also, your package gives you 2 tutorials, which you should focus on writing as well. But yeah, reading good essays, read the sample essays on the website, for example. Jay, I'm a paid member of your PTE. Okay, Sanjay, if you want to switch from PT to IELTS, you can do that. Just send a message through help.e2language.com. Can we partially agree and agree, disagree? I'm sorry, guys. I'm starting to fade. I've got to go and eat some dinner. I'm starving. Thank you for coming along. Appreciate it. Hope it was helpful. I hope you write beautiful essays. And yeah, see you soon.